Hey guys, Atak here. So I managed to do it. I got my invite at the Duluth Regional. It was top 48. I got 42nd. And we're going to talk about my deck list, tech choices. But real quick, I want to shout out Roll the Bones, my locals. I want to shout out the guys that came with me today, Kyle Yarborough, who topped, and my buddy Tyler, my buddy Brendan. And I want to shout out Stromboli. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. I lost round 4, 6, and 8. I lost to 2 Dracotail Shadals, and then I lost to Mitsurugi Ryzeal. Out of all my losses, the one that I felt like I couldn't have played better was the Mitsurugi Ryzeal, because I just genuinely opened unplayable hands 2 games. But to start, we're playing 3 of all the names. I just feel like you kind of have to, just like, because they're all just 1-card starters. I do, however, when I'm siding, if I'm going second, I do end up siding out 1 cookie, 1 Lollipo, maybe just like 1 Lollipo and keep the cookie in. Just depended on the matchup. And then I'm playing each field spell, and then I'm playing 2 of the quick play. Going into this, I felt like 2 was correct, but I actually wish I had the 3rd in rotation. The 3rd, just this card is insane, just having it constantly in rotation, but it just helps you win the grind game. Akruki and Mignon, man, for 1-ofs, these cards were stuck to my hand non-stop. Mignon more than Akruki, at least that's playable, but most often than not, if I was going second, I was siding out Akruki. But there were times I felt like that still just wasn't correct. But I just didn't want to open this going second, post side. So I was playing hand trap version with some like pseudo going second and going first cards. But for hand traps, I was playing Fualos, Ghost Spell, Ash Blossom, Purge, and Imperm. I wasn't playing like Veiler or Ogre. I was playing Ogre in the side, and we'll get to that in a moment. Bell just in the mirror match is crazy with the fact that Yummy seems to be like the more represented deck out of all of them. It just seems to be popular. Bell just seemed right. Like I was preparing for the mirror match nonstop, and I actually only played the mirror match twice. Purge and Ash were just really clutch in a lot of my matches. Fua just I cut Perulia, and we'll talk about that when I get to the side, but Fua just always felt right, and in Perm, I actually resolved it every time. No, it never got dodged, which was crazy. So for, I guess, like, tech, playing 3 Super Poly. Genuinely think this is the best card in the format. I really do. In the mirror match, this just hoses the mirror match. You go Super Poly, summon Garura, then link the Garura off for Grav Controller, draw a card, and then because it's a quick play, Onari can actually reset it, and then you just have a second Super Poly, which is incredibly powerful. In my Vanquish Soul Canine matchup, I Super Poly'd away the Joe Cool and the Rosin to make Mud Dragon, and then they went Mad Love and the Field Spell, and then before they went Field Spell effect, I went Mud Dragon Declare Dark, so they couldn't target with the Field Spell, they couldn't bounce with Borg or anything. Just Super Poly just was absolutely insane in this matchup, and I'm glad I ran it. We're also running 3 Droplet. Just, it's helpful for breaking boards, but again, it's another quick play. You can set off Ornari, and it helped break the Yummy boards. It helped break the Vanquish Soul Canine boards. In my Dracotail matchup, even though I still lost, it helped me out the window, especially because by the time they summon the window, you already committed cards to the board, so you can't imperm. So just Droplet just felt correct. As for like power spells, Prosperity, Talents, Called By, 1-for-1, I'm gonna be honest, I ran 1-for-1. This is a 41 card deck, and I ran 1-for-1 for like an extra starter. This never resolved, and it did rip an Ash out of the hand, which helped later in the turn, but going forward, I probably will cut 1-for-1. I just didn't like it. Called By and Talents got so much traction despite being 1-ofs, and Prosperity pretty much was always adding me Purge, against the Vanquish Soul matchup, and even like the Draco Tail matchup, which helped shut off like Rosin and helped shut off the traps for Draco Tail. And then lastly, playing 3 Obedience School, probably just the best card in the deck, not including Super Poly, because you just going first, you shotgun it. Going second, you just bait interaction to the point where they clear your board, and then you just do this and break the board. For extra deck, running 3 Snatchy, and then 1 of each Synchro. Not gonna lie, I really wish I was only running 2 Snatchy. The third one never came up. Since we're running Super Poly, I actually wish this third Snatchy was Draco Stapelia. In the Draco Tail matchups, there were many moments where I could have just completely ended their turn if I Super Poly'd for Draco Stapelia, and just unfortunately couldn't do it because I wasn't running it. And like I said, the third Snatchy never came up where Draco Stapelia would have, so I just wish I wasn't running this. Then we're running Metal Marcher Herald. I'm only running the 1 Herald, and I'm not running Ham. I think Metal Marcher versus Ham is like personal pick, and then if you're playing Pure, you can play both. But I just personally preferred Metal Marcher to get like the extra body on the board and just link it into another Snatchy. Link Spider, Gravity Controller, Almirage, and then my last 2 links are Little Knight and Onari. Almirage was crazy. I think Almirage is just mandatory in this deck because you open like hand traps and it just helps. Grab Controller for like the Super Poly targets. Link Spider, I probably still would run this again, but I just never summoned it. I got nibbed once and it was already way too late anyway. So that being said, if I get nibbed and I'm running like Super Poly, like maybe Link Spider is less needed because then we just go like Garura. But other than that, like again, I would probably still keep running Link Spider just for like the countermeasure. And then the last 2 cards was Mudragon Garura for our Super Poly targets. Again, I wish I was running Draco Stapelia, but good thought for next time. As for side decks, we're running the 3 Lancia because Malice is still very much in the format. Orchist, I was expecting to see maybe like Orchist at some manner. Didn't see Orchist at all, but Lancia is still just, again, Malice. I had 2 Malice matchups, and I saw Lancia both times, but I never actually had to use it because they couldn't break the Yummy board. So that being said, still running Lancia. Running Duster and Lightning Storm for going second. There's just like some really crazy boards that I feel like Duster and Lightning Storm just simplify immediately. Obviously, like I sided this in going against Malice. I sided it in going against Yummy Fiendsmith. They ended on Chaos Angel that was made by a light, and then they had Lollipo and Attack. And so I just went Lightning Storm and destroyed the Herald, but he chained Lollipo, summoned out Snatchy and Cupsy, and I'm like, he destroys the Snatchy. And yeah, he just misplayed, but very powerful. And again, like it really simplified the game state. Ogre, I sided this in a handful of times. Never saw it, but I would still run this. I like the card a lot. Going against like Yummy because you pop the field spell, or you could just pop Snatchy. Vanquish Soul Canine, you can pop the field spell if like that's their go-to, or you can just try and pop like the Rosin or something. Just try to get like a guy off the board. You can pop the Rock. I would still be running Ogre for sure. Playing 2 Strike, 2 Judgment. Judgment was crazy. Strike, I just never saw it. I sided it multiple times, but these cards are still just insane. Like Judgment helps you like post side, make sure you're not going to get like Dark Rulered or Raigeki'd, especially against like the board breaker Yummy builds. Strike was good for like Yummy if they like linked into Snatchy. I also, for Strike, I sided this in for Draco Tail with the thought that they were going to like normal summon Lucaeus or something. It just never came up, but you can also just use this to negate the Phymena as well. But again, I didn't see it. But and then for our last 3, Droll and Lockbird. I did side Droll in against the Vanquish Soul Canine. I expected to see more Vanquish Soul Canine than I did. I only had 1 matchup, and I sided this in. I just didn't see the card. But I prefer Droll over Perulia. I think just Perulia's not good in the format, realistically, because Vanquish Soul Canine, the thought process is Vanquish Soul Canine and Yummy lose to Perulia. That's just not the case. Yummy can play around it and like give you at most like 1 draw if they don't have like Obedience Schooled, and like Vanquish Soul Canine, again, like at most they're gonna give you 1 draw because you're probably chaining it to like Joe Cool or or Izuna. But again, I don't regret my side deck at all. I think realistically, I liked my side deck the most. It just, a lot of these cards, I just didn't end up seeing them in the matchup. But yeah, that's my yummy deck profile. First invite since I've started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively, and it's only going up from here. My next target is to top a regional, but out of top 48, first regional of the format, I managed to get an invite. So I'll see you all in the next one.